Now, the exam might ask you about updating the certificate. If we come in here and look at the properties of the connection, it is a secure connection, but we're using a self-signed certificate that has no certification path. Besides, after 60 days, it's not going to work anyway. So what you'll want to do is install the appropriate TLS SSL certificate in the local computer certificate store on your WAC server. And what you'll need is the thumbprint of that certificate. So if we go to Details, Thumbprint, and copy that data out, we then can rerun the MSI package. Okay, step through next, and we'll do a change, and we can use our locally installed Gateway SSL certificate here by pasting the thumbprint and clicking Change to commit that change. Click Finish. Now, if I do a hard refresh, it's giving me a not secure error because I actually kind of cheated a little bit. I am using my own certificate here, but if we take a look at it, it's just another self-signed certificate. But that's the idea. That's the exam alert, and certainly that's important from a real-world perspective as well. Last thing I want to demo here is show you how you can begin to integrate your Windows Admin Center with your Azure subscription. So from the All Connections view, if we go to Add and scroll down to Azure VMs, when you click Add, the first thing you'll be required to do is register your Windows Admin Center instance with Azure. So let's click, and we'll copy our authentication code here and do a browser-based device logon flow. Let me click Next. I'll provide my Azure Active Directory credentials, password, confirm that yes, I'm trying to sign into the Admin Center. Now I can close this window, verify my tenant ID, and determine what kind of service principal we're going to use. I'm going to choose Create New in this case. And this is going to create a service principal identity, basically a registered application for this instance, this gateway instance of Windows Admin Center. And it will then have privileges or be able to delegate on your behalf your signed in privileges into Azure. So let's click Connect, click Sign In. If you get an error, you may need to go over to the settings page and make sure that you've consented, preferably on behalf of your organization, the access that Azure Active Directory needs from you. So now that I've done that, let me come back to All Connections and let's try the Azure VM connection one more time. I'll browse to my subscription, my AZ800RG resource group. I now have access to my various virtual machines. I'm going to grab VM2 in this case, and I can connect either via private or public endpoint depending upon how I've configured it. I'm going over the internet, so I'm going to need the public endpoint. Although I started us here by attempting to add an Azure VM, I really, if I were to do this over again, would have you go to Settings first, Account, and sign into Azure, consent on behalf of your organization, and then come back and go ahead and add in the Azure VM. It's a cleaner way to do it.